Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Ros-Albastrii here today. We're now on to episode 10 of the 4th season and we have our second game in the first knockout rounds of the Champions League against Benfica. We're back at home in Romania for the National Arena clash. We drew 1-1 in the first leg. We got a late goal thanks to Alex Juricevic. We also hit a million different posts and every inch of that goal frame. So, today, I'll quietly fancy our chances. So, let's get into today's episode. Let's run that intro. The save then. Now, first things first, we've got to address a few results before we go into play today's game. Our second game against Benfica. We drew 1-1 in episode number 9 on Monday. Since then, we've played Poli Timisoara. A goal coming in the 14th minute from Cristian Lăcuțea was enough. Stenio getting sent off in the 33rd minute with a second yellow card definitely helped matters for us. But we had enough to push them right to the limit in this game. Good performance from Lăcuțea with an 8.0 man of the match performance. Vlad Archim did well until he was taken off in the 75th minute. Christy Novacek also doing a lot of good work down that left flank, replacing Arthur Masuaka, who was sold on. But yeah, I was really impressed with this today. After that game against Benfica, I thought the lads might be a little bit tired. Moved the squad around a little bit, brought in a few of the lads that hadn't played in that game, just try and rest the legs and get more faces introduced into the team. We responded well here. It was a really good performance. Even though it was 1-0, I felt it could have been 2 or 3. We had 20 shots at goal, 12 on target. Really good performance in goal from Odysseus Vlachodimos for Poli Timisoara. And yeah, so we added another 3 points to the total. We then came up against Concordia Shajna. Now, we played these guys in January. I think it was the 1st of January. And we drew 1-1 with them at home at the National Arena. And I kind of expected this game to go a similar way. I thought it'd be quite a tight game, but make no mistake about it, we absolutely dominated this game. Cyprian Maxim opening the scoring on the 6th minute mark. Cristian Lăcuțea adding a brace, scoring in the 29th minute before Alex Juricevic added the 3rd goal of the game in 79 minutes. Before Lăcuțea wrapped it up with another stellar performance from the young 16-year-old. A 9.3 rating for 2 goals. Alex Juricevic with a goal and an assist for a 9.1. Tosca with an 8.7. The whole team really performed, apart from, well, I suppose we could kind of single out Dragos Nedelcu, who was substituted in the 78th minute with only a 6.9 rating. But, I'm happy to forgive that, really. We dominated this game against a team which, let's be honest, are one of the better teams in Romania, particularly on this save. But we dominated 60% of play, 21 shots. We put the ball around well. We got into that attacking areas really nicely. We had the wing-backs working for us up and down those channels all day long. The attacking players got the goals that we needed. And I was really happy with this performance. And that stood us in good stead. Next game, which came against Gazmetan Medias back in the league. And we're away from home again at Gazmetan in Medias. And it was a 2-1 victory this time, courtesy of goals from Alin Tosca and Rick Baldwin from the penalty spot in the 41st minute. Gazmetan Medias did manage to pull a goal back in the 69th minute through Ovidiu Bic. But again, possession-wise, we dominated again. Alin Tosca was the standout player in the team. And I think after that performance against Concordia, we're a little bit tired here. And a few of the lads kind of underperformed, or they just went through the motions here, particularly Juricevic and Lăcuțea. Baldwin played well, as did Bryce Dijajeju, coming for Cyprian Maxim in that right-back position. But I can't really complain. Again, it's another 3 points in the league, and we've dominated the league this year. I know we pretty much won everything domestically last year as well, but I see us as a much stronger team this year. After this game, though, we did go and play Vital Constanta, which was a good game. Was for Steaua anyway, and we dominated this game from start to finish. Goals coming from Will Keane in the 4th minute before Alex Juricevic added a goal in injury time of the first half, 45 minutes plus 4 minutes of added time. He added a second in the 54th minute, cancelling out the Alexandru Matan goal in the 50th minute for Vital Constanta. That then made it 3-1 before Will Keane added his second of the match for in the 66th minute, shall we say. And he was the man of the match in this game. He was the standout player, although Alex Juricevic did play well also. They both got a 9.2 rating. They both scored 2 goals apiece. But I just thought Will Keane just did that little bit more movement around that back defensive line, opening up channels, releasing the likes of Juricevic through and the wing backs that were coming on down the flanks. Tosca, Bryce DiGiJJ, Alexandru Iheanacho getting a very rare start. I think it's probably his first start he's had for us this season in terms of the first team. I think we'll just have a quick look at that, actually. I'm sure he hasn't featured before for us. So yeah, that was his first start, and he got an assist for an 8.1. He's a youngster. He's only 18. Probably isn't going to be one of the main first team stalwarts in the team. But obviously we've now lost the likes of Marian Lucha, who, in my opinion, was the future of the Romanian football. We've still got Cristian Lucucci, though, who we've brought in. But I think this guy could become a reasonable enough squad player. Probably not at the same sort of level, but that was a really good start from him to come in and do that, get that assist in his first league game for us at the age of 18. So yeah, I was really pleased with that, and that's going to stand us in really good stead today for today's game against Benfica in the Champions League, first knockout round, second leg. Remember, we drew 1-1 in the first leg. A great goal in the latter few minutes of the game from Alex Juricevic levelled the score. And don't forget, that was at the Estadio de Luz. We hit a must have been 8 to 10 woodworks throughout the game, posts, crossbars, you name it. We hit every inch of that goal frame. If we can continue that performance, that kind of form, I fancy us with home advantage to get through to the next round. Who we face then after that, I'm not too sure. Man United, Man City, someone like that. I'll take anyone but Man United, basically. Then we've got Vital Constanta coming up in the Cup of Romania quarter-final. We're now through to the Romanian League Cup final, thanks to that win over Concordia Shajna. We'll face Poli Timișoara at the end of the season in that game. We're going to play something else before then, obviously. So yeah, let's get into today's live game, guys. We've got Benfica. It's going to be a tough one. Go and get yourself a drink, pop back, and let's get into it today. Before we get into this game against Benfica, I've got a bit of news to bring you. I had a little message come through into my inbox saying that Alexandru Iheanacho contract was coming to an end in June. So I went in to offer him a contract, and he was more than happy to come and join us from Astra Giurgiu. I think he's going to be quite a decent little player for us, really. Obviously, he can adapt himself to the shadow striker position. He's an attacking midfielder. If we want to use him as a trequartista, we can do that. Key thing is he's Romanian. He's good. He's got good stats. Creates goals. Scores goals as well in this league. And I think he's going to be a good player for us on a free transfer as well. We're really getting a nice little base now of Romanian players coming back into the squad. Don't forget, we had a year where we struggled. I think it was the second season. We had a good first season, but the second season we struggled, and I kind of brought some players in from outside of Romania to try and help build the squad cheaper and free transfers. But now that we're getting a bit stronger and better, I'm trying to bring the Romanian guys back into the team. Some of the better ones. We've brought in George Puskas from, I think it was Inter Milan, wasn't it? Did we get him from Inter Milan? No, it's from Malmo. We got him from Malmo. He's back into the side. We've brought in other players. We've brought in Romario Bensar. We've brought in Kristi Novacek. We've brought in Robert Hodegea. We've brought in Cristian Lucucci, who's obviously a regen, but he's a brilliant player. Razvan Marin has also come in. We've also brought in Razvan Popper, who we paid 700k for him. That said, he could be an alright centre-back for us. I'm sure we can all agree that. So I'm really glad to have him in the side. 23 years of age. Hasn't really featured as yet, but I'll see next season more for him. So guys, I just wanted to bring that news to you. We're now going to go into today's game against Benfica, and fingers crossed we can get through to the next round of the Champions League. Right, so I thought I'd give you a little run through really of me picking the team. We haven't done this for a while. Now, first things first, we were without the services of Kenneth Omaruo, who's picked up an injury. He's been a really good player for us this year since we brought him in on a free transfer. Valentin Kojkaru can play in goal. Defensive right of centre, we're going to go with, now I was tempted to play Edgar I. I'm also tempted by Ash Kigbu, but we're going to stick with Robert Hodegea for this one. We're going to have Jack Stevens down the middle, and we're going to have Alin Tosca on the left of centre. We're also going to have right back Bryce DiGiJJ can play in that position for this match. Kristi Novacek obviously down that left flank. we're going to have, as the box-to-box midfielder, Maniru. We're going to have Vlad Archim in the ball-winning midfielder position. And then up front, we're going to have Will Keane on the right. We're going to have Alex Juricevic on the left. And we're also going to have Callum Gribbin down the middle. I know there's a few lads in the team that probably have better stats than that. But Gribbin's just a great player. I mean, you look at that, 15 goals in 25 games, and he's more of a midfielder, really, than an attacker. Edgar I can be our first centre-half substitute. We'll keep Romario Bensar on the bench. We'll also have Rick Baldwin and George Puskas on the bench, just as those attacking options. We'll also stick Cyprian Maxim on the bench, and we may as well stick Ash Kigbu on as well, because the rest of them are either unregistered or injured for today's game. So then, that is going to be the squad for today's game against Benfica. We're at home here at the National Arena. It's been a bit of a fortress for us in recent, well, pretty much in all times. We're going to go into the game. So as we can see here, the Romanian Football Informer believe that we have enough quality today to see off the threat of Benfica. All things are square, obviously, from that first leg, the 1-1 draw that we got at the Estadio de Luz, and they think that we can take advantage today playing from home. Bet 190, the bookmaker here on Football Manager 2017, think the 5-4 favourites, Steaua Bucuresti, should get the job done. Benfica penciled in at 7-4, with the draw in at 11-5, which is just a shade over 2-1 for anyone looking for a bit of value. So here are the two teams then. We're going with Valentin Kojakaru in goal, with Alin Tosca Stevens and Hoda Gea the back three, with Novacek and Bryce JJ in the wing back positions, Vlad Archim and Maniru in the centre of the park, with Juricevic, Gribbin and Keane up front. The two Manchester United boys playing next to each other. They've done so well for us in previous games. Now, Edison keeps goal for Benfica. Daquino, Jardel, Reyes and Almeida at the back, with Danilo in the defensive midfielder position. Servi, Pineda and Guedes in midfield, with Mitroglou and Borja leading the line for Benfica. And we're just going to go in and we're going to go hard tackling on Daquino, because I remember last time his bravery stats were pretty poor. So if we can exploit that, that would be handy. We're also going to tell Servi, Guedes, Daquino and Almeida to go in on their weaker foots. And then we're going to go into the team talk and we're going to tell them that... What are we going to tell them? What do you think, lads? What should we tell them? What should we tell them? I'm going to go with that one. Come on, lads. Show me what you can do to keep our run going. Doesn't really have a great effect, that one. But we can address that and pull that back in. We've got a lot of green now, so we're in a good spot for today's game. Let me know in the comment section down below before this game starts what you think the score will be. I'll be interested to see your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully we can get through to the next round of this Champions League competition this season. Join me on the other side. So we've kicked off here then, and Benfica kicked off. They're kicking from right to left in this first half, and Keane takes the ball from, I think it was, Servi down that left flank. And that was the end of that first highlight. There's not a lot going on at the moment here. 9 or so minutes gone. Things are pretty tight. We're keeping it relatively tight at the moment. I'm just going to assertively send out a little encouragement message to the boys. They seem to have responded quite well. There's a couple of motivated players off the back of that. Bryce JJ picked up a yellow, and we've got a highlight coming up here, and it's Servi with the corner, whips him to Stevens, and Gribbin has the chance. He's one-on-one here. Can Gribbin go? Oh, what a bit of skill there from Gribbin. Oh, and Gribbin hits the side netting. Oh, that was close. Good closing down of the angle, that from Edison. I thought Gribbin was away and gone there, and Edison has the goal kick played to Yardell. Keane gets it back, though. Keane finds Vlad Archim. Vlad Archim back to Will Keane, to Callum Gribbin, who tries to play in Juricevic, but Almeida gets it away, and Borja now has a chance to launch the attack. Guedes down that right flank, crosses the ball in, and Kojakaru comes out and claims the ball. Plays it to Stevens, though. Stevens to Robert Hoda Gea, who's got JJ and quite a bit of space advanced up the pitch, and he's found there by Wilkin, and lovely first time pass that from Juricevic to Novacek. Archim, lofty pass to Bryce JJ. He's got Keane, and Wilkin sticks it back of the onion bag from Wilkin. A lovely ball that from Bryce JJ, who was lofted onto that lofted pass, and Keane smashes it in at the near post past Edison, who can't do anything with that. What a start to this game here. We're going into half-time against Benfica here, and we're going to go out there now and we're going to tell them, do not get complacent out there. Do not get complacent. And we're just going to add a little bit more of instruction to try, and we didn't work to pull that back. And I'm just going to tell them now to contain this this lead. We want to try and play this game now by wasting as much time as possible. Novosek. They're going to come at us though in this second half, so we've got to be on our game here. I'm going to have to use the team talks. We might have to make a couple of changes. I might look at bringing Bryce Didge JJ off actually in the next 10 or so minutes. He looks quite nervous according to the tip. And do you know what? I'm going to do that. Romario Bensar can come on to replace him. We're also going to toying with the idea. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take off Will King because he's down to 62%. And we'll bring on George Puskas, who can have his time to shine here if he's good enough. Hasn't been playing an abundance of games for us since coming in from Malmo. We've got a corner here and it's Gribbin to Puskas, and Puskas puts the ball in the back of the net, and Steaua Bucuresti boys absolutely batshit bonkers in the stands. Ball comes in from Gribbin to Puskas, who hits the half volley. What a strike from Georgi Puskas. Get in there, boys. Get in. Steaua Bucuresti now 3-1 up here at the National Arena on aggregate. 2-0 in this game. We've dominated this. We're playing a contain. And do you know what? I'm going to calmly tell them now to tighten things up. We don't want to give anything away now. And I'm also going to, when I can get into this part here, go into the instructions, and I want to retain possession now. We want to slow things down. Keep that ball between us. Archim can come off now in the last few minutes of this game. And I'm going to bring on slick Rick Baldwin. And I'm going to swap Rick Baldwin with Maniru, just because Maniru is a more defensive-minded player. But I'm really happy with this performance today, boys and girls. Really happy with this. Got a highlight now, and that is it. We have done the job here against Benfica, the Portuguese bosses. What a great performance. Very happy with that result and the performance today. And George Puskas really, really put that game beyond doubt for us with that strike. That'll live long in the memory of the Steaua Bucuresti fan history. Will Keane added a goal in the first half. Then it was cemented by George Puskas. What a performance. We're through now to the second knockout round of the Champions League. I'm really happy with that. We've triumphed there over Benfica. We've picked up 5.16 million for that. Juricevic put in a very good performance, and look at how Juricevic is coming on now. I'm really scared that our bloody chairman's going to look to try and sell him. Hopefully not. Hopefully now we can see who we're going to be playing in this next game. So I'm going to try and skip to that point, and then we can come back really with who we've got in the next game. And then here we go. Today is the day for the Champions League quarter-final draw. We're into the hat with Real Madrid, Atletico de Madrid, Napoli, amongst others. So we're going to go into view the draw today. We're going to draw the next team. So first team out of the hat today is FC Barcelona. Now I really bloody hope we're not playing them. Next team out of the hat. Oh, fuck's sake. So we've got Barcelona then. After Man United, I don't think I could have picked anyone worse, really. Next team out of the hat is Napoli, who get the advantage of a home tie first up against Atletico de Madrid. Then Man City will play Paris Saint-Germain, which leaves Real Madrid to face Arsenal. Manchester United, though, aren't in the competition, and I'm quite pleased about that. Now, if we can get past Barcelona here, and if by some miracle Arsenal managed to beat Real Madrid, I'd half fancy our chances this season, you know. But that said, we've got to get past Barcelona here, and that's going to be difficult. That is going to be difficult. So let's have a look at the schedule here. So coming up, we've got, because we're so far away and gone in the league, I don't really see a point in live coming the league games really anymore. Obviously Dinamo Bucharest are big rivals, but I think at this point now we've done enough of that really to keep that going. We've also, I mean, do we really want to record the quarter-final of the Coppa Romane considering we've won it? I'm tempted, again to play Cluj, Constant, Viitorul and Dinamo off camera. Come back on Friday for the first leg against Barcelona, and then play the second leg of the quarterfinal on Saturday morning, which will mean we could potentially have a semi-final game on Monday if we can beat Barcelona. So guys, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like on the video down below. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. We've got a couple of different series coming up in the next few weeks. I've got a couple of ideas that I think will really work well on the channel. Go and have a look at some of the Football Manager 2017 experiments I've been doing recently. I've done the likes of Simon Grayson as manager of Sunderland, seeing how they get on next season. I've also done Thomas Christiansen at Leeds United yesterday, so go and check that one out. That's well worth having a look at. Not only that, there's John Terry at Aston Villa, there's Kelechi Iheanacho at Leicester City, and that move is pretty much wrapped up now, I think, give or take a few terms to be decided. So guys, that's it for today. It's Wednesday. I'll see you again on Friday.